Welcome to Le Podcast de Philippe, and on today's deep dive, we're going to try to answer a question that really kind of sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. Can AI hypnotize humans? I mean, we've got articles, we've got research that explores virtual hypnosis, talks about AI's ability to understand and maybe even manipulate how we see things, and there are even some early projects that suggest AI-driven hypnosis is actually possible. So, yeah, get ready, because we were going deep on this one.
It really is fascinating, and it's becoming more relevant as AI technology just keeps getting better.
It really is.
And it's not just theoretical anymore. We're
Oh,
starting to see actual technology that makes you think, wow, this could really happen.
well, let's start with virtual hypnosis. I mean, what is it and how does it work?
Well, virtual hypnosis, it uses virtual reality and artificial intelligence to create these really immersive therapeutic experiences. So think about it like this. You put on a VR headset and suddenly you're on a calming beach or in a peaceful forest, right? And you're surrounded by these really soothing visuals and you hear this personalized audio that guides you into this relaxed state.
So is it kind of like a high-tech guided meditation?
Yeah, in a way it is, but the difference here is AI. You see, it goes beyond just playing some pre-recorded audio because the AI can actually analyze how you respond, like your heart rate or even these tiny changes in your facial expressions. And it uses that information to adjust the whole experience in real time to get the best therapeutic effect.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like having a personalized hypnotherapist inside your VR headset.
Mm.
So what kind of therapeutic applications are we talking about here?
Well, virtual hypnosis is being explored for all sorts of things, from managing stress and anxiety to helping people deal with pain and even overcoming phobias. In fact, one of the articles we have talks about this case study where a patient used virtual hypnosis to reduce his anxiety before surgery. And because of it, he didn't need any medication at all. And he actually described the whole thing as pleasant and not invasive. Which I think really shows how this technology could make therapy more accessible and less intimidating for people.
Yeah, that's a really powerful example. But makes you wonder, can AI actually hypnotize someone? Like in the true sense of the word, or are we just talking about relaxation techniques?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
But to answer that question, we need to think about what hypnosis really is first. And that's an altered state of consciousness where you're more open to suggestions and instructions.
Right.
Now, imagine if you had an AI that could not only recognize your emotions, but also generate language that's persuasive and tailored to your weaknesses.
Okay, now we're getting into some science fiction territory here.
Yeah.
AI manipulating our minds. I mean,
It is a possibility that we need to think about. One of the articles we read actually asked this very question to ChatGPT.
oh, really? So the big AI language model. Well, I'm curious, what did ChatGPT have to say? Did it claim to have any secret hypnotic powers?
Well, it didn't go that far, but it did say some interesting things.
Okay.
You see, ChatGPT admitted that AI already has some pretty amazing capabilities. It can analyze tons of data to find patterns in how we behave. It can even predict emotional responses and generate language that's designed to persuade us based on our preferences.
So if AI can already do all that,
Yeah.
what's missing? What would it take to actually hypnotize someone?
Well, ChatGPT suggested that a more advanced AI could maybe use a bunch of different techniques to put someone in a trance-like state. Think about it, soothing synthetic voices, giving you personalized suggestions, along with visual or audio stimuli that are designed to lull you into a state where you're more suggestible.
Okay, that is both fascinating and kind of scary. If
Yeah.
AI can really understand and manipulate our minds, I mean, what does that mean for the future of human autonomy?
That's a question we're definitely going to explore. But before we get into all the ethical stuff, let's take a look at some real-world examples of AI being used for hypnosis.
Okay, are there any projects out there right now actually using AI for this?
Oh, yeah. There are a few that are really interesting. Like there's one called Open Synapse, which uses AI to create these personalized hypnosis and sophrology sessions.
Sophrology.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, it's this type of dynamic relaxation therapy that combines things from Eastern traditions like yoga and meditation with Western practices like psychotherapy.
Oh, wow.
And Open Synapse uses AI to tailor those sessions to each person, taking into account things like stress levels, sleep patterns, even personality traits.
So it's like taking a holistic approach to well-being and using AI to personalize the whole thing.
Exactly. And then there's this other project called Rachel that's actually trying to create a full-blown AI hypnotist.
An AI hypnotist.
Uh,
That sounds like something right out of a movie. Is this Rachel thing actually able to hypnotize people?
well, it's still being developed, but it's a big step in this field. Rachel uses natural language processing and machine learning to talk to people, understand what they want, and give them these personalized hypnotic suggestions. The people who made it believe that AI could eventually be used to provide hypnotherapy to a lot of people, making it more accessible and affordable.
Well, that's exciting and a little unsettling. You
Yeah.
know, it raises so many questions about the future of therapy, the nature of consciousness, and even the ethical implications of AI influencing our minds.
You're exactly right. And those are the questions we'll be diving into next. So
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Right.
As AI gets more and more capable, we have to think about the ethical side of things, especially when it comes to something as powerful as hypnosis.
Yeah, that's true. It's easy to get caught up in all the excitement of this new technology, but we really need to stop and think about what could go wrong.
Right.
I mean, where do we even begin to unpack all the ethical implications of AI doing hypnosis?
Well, one of the first things that comes to mind is data privacy. I mean, if AI is analyzing how we respond and then using that to create these hypnotic suggestions for us, that data needs to be handled really carefully.
Yeah, you're right. We're basically giving these systems super personal information about our mental and emotional states. So we have to ask, who has access to this data? How is it being used? And is it really protected from being stolen or misused?
Exactly. We need to make sure that nobody is selling this data or using it for things we didn't agree to. I mean, just imagine if advertisers got a hold of this information
Wow.
and
Yeah.
started using it to target us with ads that are designed to take advantage of our weaknesses.
Yeah, that is a disturbing thought.
It is.
It really highlights the need for strict rules
Yeah.
and ethical guidelines for how this data can be collected, stored, and used.
Definitely. But it's not just about protecting the data itself.
Right.
We also need to think about the security of the AI systems themselves.
That's true. What if somebody hacked into an AI hypnosis system?
Exactly. They could mess with people's minds and control their behavior.
And the consequences could be really bad.
We need strong cybersecurity measures, and we need to keep doing research to stay ahead of the bad guys.
Okay, so data privacy, cybersecurity, what else?
Well, informed consent is another big ethical issue we have to make sure that people completely understand what they're getting into before they use AI hypnosis. They need to know exactly what data is being collected, how it's being used, and what the potential risks and benefits are.
Yeah, even if virtual hypnosis seems less scary than traditional therapy, people still need to make informed decisions. And that means they need to fully understand the technology and how it could affect them.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another crucial point, responsible use. Just because we can create AI that can hypnotize people doesn't mean we should.
Right. It's like any powerful tool. I mean, it could be used for good or for bad.
Exactly.
So we need to be aware of the potential for misuse and make sure that we have strong ethical guidelines in place as this technology is developed and used.
I agree. And part of being responsible means recognizing what AI can't do yet. I mean, as advanced as these systems are, they still don't have that human touch that's so important in traditional therapy.
What do you mean?
Well, a human therapist can empathize with you, they can adapt to your needs in real time, and they can build a relationship with you that AI just can't do, at least not yet.
So you're saying that AI might be great at analyzing data and giving personalized suggestions, but it can't truly understand and connect with us emotionally the way human therapists can.
Exactly. AI hypnosis could be a really useful tool for making therapy easier to access, but it's not a replacement for human connection and expertise.
It sounds like the best scenario would be for AI and human therapists to work together,
Hmm.
each using their strengths to provide the best, most ethical care possible.
I think so too, but like we talked about earlier, there's still so much we don't know about the long-term effects of using AI for hypnosis. We're really just starting to understand how this technology works and how it might affect our minds in the long run. We need more research to figure out what conditions it might be most helpful for how it compares to regular therapy, and if there are any hidden dangers.
It's definitely a field that's changing rapidly. I mean, we can guess about the future, but it's hard to say for sure how AI hypnosis will change the world of therapy and our understanding of consciousness.
That's what makes this such a fascinating topic.
It really is.
We're seeing two powerful forces come together, artificial intelligence and the human mind, and the possibilities are both exciting and scary.
For sure, it makes you think about what it means to be human in a time when machines can potentially control our thoughts, feelings, and even our actions.
And as we go deeper into this unknown territory, we need to be both curious and cautious. The decisions we make today will shape the future of AI hypnosis and its impact on all of us.
Well, as we wrap up our deep dive into AI-driven hypnosis, I got to say I'm feeling a mix of amazement and, a little bit of worry. It's incredible to think that we might actually have technologies that could change how we see our own minds.
Yeah, it really makes you rethink things, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, our understanding of consciousness and how things from the outside can affect it. One of the articles we looked at actually talked about the philosophical side of AI and
That's a
hypnosis.
real?
Yeah, asking whether this technology could blur the lines between like what we do on our own and what a machine makes us do.
It really gets to the heart of what it means to be human. If AI can influence our subconscious thoughts and desires, are we really in control of ourselves?
It's a tough question. There aren't any easy answers. Some philosophers think that even the choices we think we're making freely are actually shaped by all sorts of things we're not aware of,
Hmm.
like our genes, how we were raised, the people around us, our cultural biases. In a way, we're already being influenced all the time.
That's an interesting way to look at it. So you're saying AI-driven hypnosis might not be creating a whole new problem, but just making an existing one worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's like adding another layer of complexity to something that's already pretty complex.
Wow.
And it shows how important it is to think critically and be aware of ourselves as we navigate this new world.
Hmm.
We need to be careful about being manipulated, whether it's by other people or by these super smart AI systems.
So education is key, right? The more we know about how AI works, its strengths and weaknesses, the better prepared we'll be to recognize its influence and make good choices about how we use it.
Absolutely. And transparency is important too.
What do you mean?
Well, we need to know how these systems are made, what data they're using, and what kind of safeguards are in place to prevent them from being misused. It's really important to have open conversations and collaboration between the people who make AI ethicists, policymakers, and the public, to make sure this technology is used in a responsible and ethical way.
That brings us back to what you said before about responsible use. Just because we can develop these technologies doesn't mean we should, right?
Exactly.
We have to think about the bigger picture, how it affects people and society as a whole.
And it's not just the tech industry's responsibility.
Right.
It's on all of us. We all have a part to play in shaping the future of AI, whether it's by talking about it, advocating for ethical guidelines, or just being aware of how we interact with these technologies.
Yeah.
Our choices will determine what happens.
Well, as we finish this deep dive, I'm struck by how powerful AI-driven hypnosis could be, but also how much responsibility comes with it.
For sure.
It's a powerful tool that can be used to improve people's lives or take away their freedom. It's really up to us.
It is. The future is in our hands,
Mhm.
and it's a future that needs careful thought, open discussion, and a commitment to using this technology to make things better for everyone. The journey into how our minds work with the help of AI is just beginning.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
make sure it's a journey we take with wisdom and courage.
Well, thanks for joining us on this exploration of AI-driven hypnosis. I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and got you thinking about the big questions surrounding this new field.
Remember, the most important questions are often the ones that don't have easy answers. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.